The Ghost Dance. Wakiya gazed at the red-streaked sky, feeling the weight of his ancestors' spirits stirring as he prepared to join the ghost dance. The drumbeats called to him from the distant circle, a powerful rhythm that seemed to echo the heartbeat of his people. Guided by Cholena's words, Wakiya learned that the ghost dance was not only about power but also about the survival of their way of life. At dawn, Wakiya joined his brothers and sisters, all clad in the sacred ghost shirts meant to protect them from harm. Every beat of the drum drew him closer to the spirits, and every step made him feel he was part of something larger. Cholena's voice rose above the chants, a reminder that the dance would summon the spirits of the ancestors to restore the land. As the firelight flickered, Wakiya closed his eyes, feeling the presence of those who had walked the earth before him. Visions filled his mind, showing green plains untouched by settlers, where buffalo roamed freely and peace reigned. The ghost dance became more than ritual, it became a bridge between the world of the living and the world of the spirits. Wakiya felt his heart swell with hope as he saw his people united, hands raised in prayer to the heavens. But whispers of conflict grew louder as U.S. soldiers began watching them closely, suspecting rebellion. Cholena warned Wakiya that misunderstandings could breed violence, yet she urged him to continue the peaceful dance. Wakiya's friend, a young soldier named Joseph, struggled to understand why the dance threatened the government. Joseph told Wakiya he believed in their cause, though his words held the fear of what might come. The government saw the ghost dance as a threat, not realizing it was a prayer for peace, not a call to war. Tension thickened like storm clouds over the camp, but Wakiya held fast to the teachings of his ancestors. Each night, the dancers gathered around the fire, chanting, hoping the spirits would hear and bring change. As his feet moved with the rhythm, Wakiya felt the earth beneath him vibrate, as if alive with energy. Cholena told him that faith was the greatest power they had, stronger than any weapon forged by men. Rumors spread of other tribes joining the movement, united by the belief that the spirits would restore balance. Wakiya began to dream of buffalo returning, rivers flowing clean, and his people free from oppression. Joseph warned Wakiya that the soldiers were restless, unable to understand the purpose of the dance. Wakiya wondered if peace could ever be possible between those who danced and those who watched with fear. The elders spoke of a time when the earth was pure, urging the young to hold on to those memories. With each dance, Wakiya felt his spirit grow stronger, fueled by the hope that his people would endure. One night, soldiers gathered around the camp, watching the dancers with suspicion and unease. Joseph tried to calm his fellow soldiers, explaining that the dance was not a threat but a prayer. Wakiya noticed the fear in Joseph's eyes, understanding that even his friend felt helpless against orders. The soldiers misunderstood the sacred shirts, believing them to be signs of defiance, not protection. Wakiya's mother, watching him dance, whispered prayers to keep him safe from harm and misunderstanding. As the tension grew, Wakiya's resolve hardened, his belief in the power of the dance unwavering. The next morning, Wakiya walked through the camp, seeing hope and fear mingling in every face. Cholena reminded him that the spirits did not promise an easy path but one of faith and resilience. Wakiya watched as elders blessed the children, who looked on with wonder, innocence untouched by fear. Joseph approached Wakiya again, his voice low, urging him to stay cautious as the soldiers grew uneasy. Wakiya's dreams became visions of unity and harmony, though he feared the soldiers would never understand. Every sunset, Wakiya felt the spirits growing closer, their presence a comfort against the approaching storm. Cholena told him that the dance was a gift from the ancestors, a final chance for peace through faith. Wakiya began to realize that the dance was as much for the living as it was for those who had passed. One evening, soldiers began rounding up the dancers, demanding they stop, though no one understood why. Joseph pleaded with his superiors, explaining that violence would only deepen the divide. Wakiya felt the weight of the spirits pressing down on him, urging him to hold his ground with dignity. As the soldiers tightened their hold, Wakiya and his people kept their gaze on the distant mountains. Cholena's voice rose above the crowd, chanting words of peace, her spirit unshaken by the soldiers' threats. Wakiya's heart pounded as he stood among his people, their silence more powerful than any weapon. The next morning, orders were given, and the soldiers moved in, their presence darkening the peaceful camp. Wakiya stood firm, the sacred ghost shirt around him a symbol of hope and resistance. In the chaos, he saw Joseph, his face pale with fear, helpless against the orders he had to follow. Shots rang out, shattering the dawn, as soldiers and Lakota clashed in a tragic misunderstanding. Wakiya saw elders fall, yet their faces remained peaceful, as if they were joining the spirits at last. Cholena's chants echoed through the valley, a final prayer for peace even as violence swept through them. Wakiya felt himself pulled toward the heavens, his spirit rising above the cries of his people. When the smoke cleared, silence fell over the land, broken only by the whispers of the ancestors. Wakiya lay on the ground, eyes fixed on the sky, knowing his spirit would continue with the ghost dance. Joseph knelt beside Wakiya, his heart heavy with sorrow, realizing the price of misunderstanding. The sun rose, casting light over the wounded and the fallen, marking the end of one journey and the beginning of another. Cholena's voice lingered in the wind, a reminder that their spirit would never be broken, even in loss. Survivors gathered, mourning but resolved to keep the memory of the ghost dance alive for future generations. Wakiya's spirit joined the ancestors, his sacrifice a testament to the power of faith and the resilience of his people.